anything different you see from him since you last played him so quickly?
Well, they got one of their better scorers back, but other than that, I mean, they're going to play really hard, and they do a great job defending. We got to guard them. We do a better job guarding than what we did there.
They going through maybe something similar. Really good at home, on the road. They've been a little bit different.
I think they're young like we are. He takes Snead and Maylene and maybe somebody else. They're not very experienced. They go through the same thing I think we go through.
What'd you do yesterday since you got back so late? You just come out?
Just pounded them. We watched a lot of film. Went through our half-court offense. We've got to do a better job. That's about it.
What were some of the breakdowns defensively against them?
We didn't guard the ball. Our rotations weren't very good. We didn't push the ball where we wanted. We didn't defend ball screens very well, which we had been doing a pretty good job of. So we didn't rebound. We didn't get the loose balls. I mean, it's amazing we were in the game. Getting out-rebounded, because they don't out-rebound a whole lot of people. And they generally controlled everything with their offense. And we just didn't. We didn't do a very good job of guarding them. We didn't do a good job attacking them in a half court. And again, I mean, there was one time they got 5 shots on one possession before they hit a 3. You can't do that and win.
No, it's perplexing you, but how do you've thought of different ways to keep your bigs out of foul trouble early? It seems to be impacting a lot of what you're able to do, those two guys.
Short of not playing them, no. I mean, there's a lot of things. Unfortunately, we're not allowed to talk about anything. So I'm not sure what you're allowed to say, what you're not allowed to say. So probably better off.
Is that maybe a product of their inexperience a little bit, you think? Getting a feel for
the officials?
No, the guy. Your guys.
Yeah, to a degree, probably, but our game really is about consistency. It's consistently making the right pass, consistently stepping into shots, completely or consistently blocking out your man, consistently guarding things the way the other guy who's involved in a 2-man situation thinks you're going to guard. But that should apply for the whole game to everybody involved, be it the scorer's table or anybody involved in the game.
But when you face a team a second time in the season, does your game plan change a great deal? And do you notice that the other teams change game plans, or do you just stick with what worked and toss out what didn't?
Well, I'd be shocked if Bruce changed very much. They played really well. I mean, I don't think we're going to change anything, but we're going to try to fix some things. Our execution was we just kind of went through the motions, sort of. We didn't make hard rolls to the basket. We didn't make hard cuts to the basket. We didn't set good screens. We didn't make crisp passes. We just didn't execute very much well. And again, it's a testament to them. I think that we were in the game even because we played that poorly that we shouldn't have been.
Has this team reached the point where inexperience shouldn't be an excuse for inconsistency now?
No, I mean, Did you write that article about the three freshmen in 2009?
With truck and
And I think you know, I read that this morning. I tried really not to read it, but I broke down this morning.
a lot of people tried not to read it.
You know, I mean, I read all of yours because we were on the plane. I had nothing else to do. But
Next best thing we're talking about.
you know, why were we so much better in 2010 with really the same guys? You know, we went through, and everybody says, okay, well, Deshaun was a 2-year starter coming in. He was a 2-year starter for John, which is quite different. The style of play is quite different. As those other guys, and we lost Alexander and we lost Ruoff. But a year's experience for Ebanks and Chuck and KJ made all the difference in the world. KJ wasn't near as a freshman what he was as a sophomore, nor was Devin. So, you know, I think once you go through it, once you understand it, once you realize that, you know, every time you go into a Big 12 venue, it's going to be hard. It was the same way in the Big East. And as good as those guys were, they didn't win them all. Even the year 2010, we didn't win them all. That was the year we went into Connecticut and had a collapse. I think we scored 17 points or something like that against Villanova in Wells Fargo. Came back and won the game somehow. But
What is inexperience? I mean, because these guys have played a lot of basketball, you know, obviously in high school and the AAU, and, you know, since they were 8 years old.
well, you're playing an AAU game with 6 courts, and there's stuff going on everywhere, balls rolling across the floor, and it's not the same. None of them played in a high school game with 14,000 people there. And as much as we can say they can't block a shot, get a rebound, make a steal, the reality is they do affect. I think they affect the home team more than maybe they affect the opposing team. It happens here. It happens here when we get people here.
It's kind of intriguing that it would affect, be more a positive on the home team than a negative on the visiting team.
Not really. Not really. I mean, when you take into account that we practice and get out of practice and go get on a bus, and we bus pretty much an hour to Bridgeport. By the time you get on a plane and get settled in, it's over an hour. And then you fly 3 hours out there. And then you get off the plane 3 hours, and you bus to the hotel. Those guys complain about coming here, and it's an hour and a half, 2 hours. They're not doing what we do. And it does affect you.
You mentioned inexperience, but isn't that your game today? I mean, everybody's inexperienced with the exception of maybe, I guess San Diego State has a veteran team. That's your game today.
Well, obviously you get notes from people talking about how good we could be next year if we keep everybody together. That's almost an impossibility.
Yeah, that's
it's tough. Is youth? Yeah, but not our kind of youth. You know, John, there's a difference between we're the youngest team in a Power 5. The youngest. It's not like we're in the middle, or it's not like we're, 10 from the top. We are dead ass last in experience in the Power 5 conferences. We're 300th in the country. When you think about it, there's 299 people with more experience than us. It's not that we're young. We are really young. So, yeah, does it make a difference? Sure, it makes a difference. Sean McNeil goes from playing in front of 30 people at St. Clair Junior College to 14,000 people in Lubbock with guys in robes and speedos, and I mean, all kinds of, crazy stuff going on.
Taco thrown at you?
No. I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm gonna leave it at that.
Bob, that seemed like a different environment for that place. Do you agree? That used to be like a quieter place.
Well, it used to be a ghost town.
Yeah.
But then they started filling the bottom. This year's the first year really that I can remember they've had people in the top deck. It's usually just the bowl. But they had people in the top deck. I guess they had them for Kentucky. They had them for us.
Coach, you're talking about half-court offense a little bit ago. The one kind of stat that kind of stood out to me was you guys had 22 baskets, only 5 assists. Weird, or is that just? I know you talked at the beginning of the year. This team didn't pass very well. I don't know if that's crept back in at all. Or?
Well, that's the one thing you can say about them is I don't lie. And I told you the first week that we practiced that we can't pass.
Right.
And I haven't changed my opinion. We can't pass. We can't pass, and we're not making step-in shots. I tell you, I probably shouldn't, but I'll tell you what. I'll give you some very alarming stats. Now we were averaging 20 turnovers a game for the longest, right?
Right.
On top of that, uncontested field goals. That's if the guy is
2 feet away,
7 or 8 feet off of you or further. We're 54 for 169. 54 for 169 for 32%. That's with nobody guarding you. Catch and shoot, which is catch it, step into it, shoot it. Not off the bounce, not step into it and shoot it. We're 73 for 243 for 30%. Uncontested catch and shoot shots, we are 22 for 89 for 25%. Now you want to know why we lost 4? We can't shoot.
is that for the season?
That's for the season.
Okay.
But you're saying
We're not making shots.
you also say you didn't pass well.
Well, we can't. Well, but see, I think
Not for good offense.
the reason that I said that is I think a good portion of that statistic is bad passes. I mean, if you got to field it off your ankles, you're probably not going to make it. If you got to jump to field it and then come back down and then get yourself together again, you're probably going to get covered up. If you can't, great passers make even bad shooters decent shooters. Because you're shooting everything from the pocket. The more movement there is in your shot, the more chance for error. And so if you're feeling it down here, or you're feeling it here, or over there, or back here, there's a huge chance for error.
Will guys not pass it to scoring areas? They're able to, yeah.
How about just flat missing wide open guys cutting to the basket? I mean, it happens all the time. We just don't pass the ball very well. Now, is that experience? I sure hope so. I would think so. And the other thing is, everybody expects all this out of Jordan. I mean, Jordan played a bunch of guys his size. Now all of a sudden he's playing 6'4" long guys. Now he's trying to figure out how to get it around those guys, not where to hit the guy. Experience has a ton to do with it. How much better was Struck? How about Wani? I mean, Wani may be one of the better point guards to play here in a long, long time. He sure wasn't his first year. He was horrible. But we're playing at the highest level of college basketball. So we're playing against the best athletes.
How much can you improve mid-season, or does it just take longer?
Oh, I think we improve every day. But is it significant enough to notice? I mean, I spent an hour with Derek. He goes 14 for 16. But I'm talking to him the whole time. I'm trying to talk him through it in the game. He missed the first one. And if you were there, you saw me turn around and looked at me. I'm like, don't look at me, man. Do what we worked on doing. I mean, we have a tendency, all of us, I do. I mean, you look at Derek and you say, hey, that's a man. He's not a man. He's a 19-year-old kid. I mean, think about what you were at 19 years old.
One last on the experience thing. Is that why in the game today you're seeing so many teams just do a high ball screen and just have the guy go and score off? Because they can't run the offense through.
They can't pass the ball. And plus, I think we're screwing the game up. We're so into scoring a ball, and it's the NBA trickling down because we're so misinformed. You know, the guys who make the decisions above us are so totally misinformed. They think that because the NBA has increased scoring, that has increased their viewership. That's not what increased their viewership. What increased their viewership is they stopped pitting one game against another. You don't ever have two NBA games on at the same time, where you may have 5 or 6 college games on at the same time. So why are our numbers down? Because there's so many games going on. And so, you know, you flip over and it's, I don't know, say anybody, North Carolina State and Virginia. I don't want to watch that. So now you flip it over. Oh, geez, here's Louisville, North Carolina. Watch that one. You have such a choice, and there's only so many viewers for either. But those people think that the NBA's got it going on. They've got it right. They don't have it right. They have it right in terms of they're not pitting one game against another. We are. And then all of a sudden, then these people say, oh, we got to score more. So now we lower the clock more. Well, you know what? The lower the clock, the lower you make the clock, the more bad shots you're gonna see, the more turnovers you're gonna see. And so what do you have? You ball screen. What do they do in the NBA? They ball screen. You watch Toronto and Golden State. There was nothing but ball screens. And why did Toronto win? Because they got Cousins in ball screens. And so now he's trying to guard a guard. And they switched. They kept switching. It never changed. You know, I mean, it's our game has changed so drastically. And here's the other thing that puzzles me. So every time I see a preview for the Final Four, they show Georgetown and Villanova. They never shot the frickin' ball. They never shot it. But that's one of the all-time great games. How can it be one of the all-time?
Never beaten them today. No way.
Oh, God, beat them. They'd have lost by 30.
Yeah.
We have. The NBA is about the best players winning. They want the best players to win. I mean, if we want the best players to win, then we need to change our recruiting strategies.
Well, what's Brandon's status for this weekend?
He was good yesterday. He had the flu. He doesn't look good. He's lost weight and stuff, but he looks good. Shot it pretty good yesterday.
Bob, going back to those numbers you produce in that paper, you're big on things you can control. That seems like stuff you can control: open shots, uncontested shots, and you figure those go in at a higher percentage eventually, but also maybe more often if you just pass a little better, which is by and large in your control. Do you see that just sooner or later correcting itself?
We made a conscious effort, Mike, to try to recruit guys who could shoot. And look at how Taz struggled. Now he's starting to come out of it. I mean, you would think that at some point in time, Sean McNeil's going to come out of it. Jordan's shooting 20%. 20%. I mean, he's a better shooter than that. So you would think that. law of averages. If nothing else, they'd start making some more shots. But I mean, we're trying to throw the ball inside, and Lubbock, and they got 5 guys with a foot in the paint. Makes it difficult.
I assume that what's good to see and kind of important, Gabe go offensive and lead the team in scoring. But overall, I assume it's a bad thing if he's leading your team in scoring.
Well, it's a really bad thing if he's leading our team in scoring. That's not his role. And he's involved in the scoring because he's our best passer. And in saying that, now you're talking about a power forward who's your best passer, not your guards. That's why he has the ball so much, because he's got the best chance to complete a pass. But yeah, I mean, his role's really not to score. I mean, he can't score it down there like Derek and Oscar can. But we couldn't get it to Derek and Oscar, and we couldn't get it to them in a sweet spot where they could score. And they didn't help. Derek in the second half was better. Oscar had a bad day.
Derek could be a shot off in the second half. Every time he got it, he could.
Well, without a guy doing a chin up on his arm.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why he went to the line 18 times.
Done that every time he's played Texas Tech. 24 last year, 13 the first time I think we played.
They're trying to win. It's like we're trying to win. And and why wouldn't you foul him coming into the game with what he had done prior to that?